Hey there, and welcome. So, today we're going to tackle one of the most useful and, let's be honest, sometimes one of the trickiest tenses in English, the present perfect. But my goal here is to show you that it's not just some boring grammar rule. Nope, it's actually a powerful tool that you can use to really connect with people. So, let's get into it. First things first, let me ask you a question. Have you ever swum in the ocean? Just think about that for a second. It doesn't matter if you said yes or no. The question itself is doing something really, really cool with time. You see, it's building what I like to call a time bridge. It's this amazing structure that connects everything that's ever happened in your past, your entire life, directly to right here, right now. And trust me, understanding this bridge is the secret to unlocking the present perfect. Okay, but before we can go walking across this cool time bridge, we kind of need to know how to build it, right? Well, the good news is the formula for it is surprisingly simple. It's just a reliable 3-step process. No sweat. It really is like a simple recipe with 3 ingredients. First, you start with your subject. I, you, she, they, whatever. Next, you add the magic helping verb, which is always going to be have or has. And then you finish it off with the past participle of your main verb. Words like seen, gone, or worked. That's it. Subject, helping verb, past participle. Every single time. So let's see how that looks in action. For a positive sentence, you get, she has visited. Simple enough. To make it negative, you just drop in the word not. She has not visited. Or, she hasn't visited. And if you want to ask a question, you just flip the first 2 parts. Has she visited? See? It's the same pattern, nice and consistent. All right, so we know how to build the bridge. We've got the tools. Now for the really important part. When do we actually use it? When is it time to cross that bridge? Let's dive into the situations where the present perfect is your absolute best friend. So here it is, the big idea. You use the present perfect whenever a past action has a real, tangible connection to what's happening now. The exact time it happened in the past, totally unimportant. What matters, what is absolutely crucial, is that link to the present moment. And this connection to now pops up in a few key ways. We're talking about things like life experiences that have made you who you are today, or actions that are still going on. Or maybe it's something that just happened that has a direct result you can see or feel right now. Let's break these down one by one. Let's start with the first and probably the most common one, talking about our life experiences. The collection of everything we've done. This is where that time bridge really shines, connecting our entire personal history to who we are today. Think about a question like this one. When someone asks you this, they're not asking, hey, what date did you finish reading that book? Of course not. They want to know about an experience from your entire life up to this very moment. That little word ever is a huge clue. It basically means in your whole life. And here's where it gets really interesting. When you say, I have been to France, you're not talking about a trip you took on a specific date. You're saying, I own this experience. It's part of me. That memory, that feeling, it's something you carry with you now. And that is the whole point of the present perfect. Okay, on to our second big use case. I like to call this one unfinished business. This is all about actions that started back then but are still going on, or for things that happened in the past that have a result we can see right now. The bridge is still open, the connection is live. Now, a super common point of confusion here is for versus since. So let's clear this up right now. It's easy. You use for when you're talking about a period of time, a duration, like for 2 days or for 10 years. And you use since for a specific starting point in time, like since Monday or since 2014. Simple as that. And this is a perfect example of a present result. Just picture it. You walk into the kitchen and you yell, someone has eaten my soup. The action, the soup eating, happened in the past. But the result is an empty bowl and your hungry stomach, and that is happening right now. The focus is on the current tragic situation of your souplessness. All right, it's time. Let's tackle the final boss of the present perfect, knowing when to use it instead of the past simple. I'm telling you, this is where almost everyone gets tripped up at first. But once you see the difference, you can't unsee it. So let's put these 2 sentences side by side. I have lived in London, and I lived in London.
I mean, they look almost exactly the same, right? But their meanings are worlds apart. One uses our time bridge, and the other doesn't. So what is the real difference here?
And here it is. This is the whole ballgame. The present perfect, our time bridge, connects the past to now. So, I have lived in London means I still live there. The action continues. But the past simple, that's a finished, completed action. I lived in London means I don't live there anymore. The connection is cut, the bridge is down. And look, your best friends here are the signal words. For the present perfect, think of words like ever, never, for, since. For the past simple, you'll see specific timestamps, like yesterday, last week, or in 2010.
So, if you're going to remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this. The present perfect is never just about the past. It's always about how the past touches, influences, and connects to the present. It really is your bridge from everything that happened before to this exact moment now.
And so to wrap this all up, I'm going to ask you a question using our brand new tool. Think about everything we just went over. What new thing have you learned today? Whatever your answer is, it's now a part of your experience. Thanks so much for joining me.